For anybody who followed President Trump's campaign, that news conference was both totally shocking and entirely unsurprising. This was a rare glimpse into the mind of the president, basically the verbal equivalent of a tweet storm. And this morning, the president's team is again hunting for a national security advisor as President Trump's choice weighing the call of duty versus White House dysfunction, according to a senior U.S. official, chose to take a pass. This morning, the White House is again looking for a national security advisor after the president's pick to replace Michael Flynn, Vice Admiral Robert Harward, declined the president's offer. It comes after a freewheeling, at times jaw-dropping, 77-minute news conference.
There has never been a presidency that's done so much in such a short period of time.
After announcing his second pick for Labor Secretary Alexander Acosta, President Trump defiantly dismissed the flood of controversies and crises engulfing his White House.
This administration is running like a fine-tuned machine.
While defending his decision to fire Michael Flynn for misleading the vice president.
The thing is, he didn't tell our vice president properly.
Mr. Trump aired a laundry list of grievances.
The tone is such hatred. I'm really not a bad person, by the way.
Blaming leaks.
The leaks are absolutely real. The news is fake because so much of the news is fake.
Blaming the media.
Tomorrow they will say, Donald Trump rants and raves at the press. I'm not ranting and raving. I'm just telling you, you're dishonest people.
And blaming his predecessor.
I inherited a mess. It's a mess.
In fact, by comparison, President Obama inherited a far bigger mess in 2009, facing the deepest recession since the Great Depression. The unemployment rate then nearly 8%. Upon President Trump's arrival, 4.8%. Another fact check on this repeated false claim about the president's electoral victory.
I guess it was the biggest electoral college win since Ronald Reagan.
You said today that you have the biggest electoral margin since Ronald Reagan with 304 or 306 electoral votes. In fact, President Obama got 365 in 2008.
Well, I'm talking about Republican.
President Obama 332
Yeah.
and George H.W. Bush 426 when he won as president. So why should Americans trust you when you're misrepresenting information?
I was just given. We had a very, very big margin.
The question is, why should Americans trust you when you accuse the information they receive of being fake when you're providing information that's not accurate?
I was given that information. I've seen that information around. But it was a very substantial victory. Do you agree with that?
You're the president. Okay. More than 3 months after his upset victory, the president still appears obsessed with his past opponent.
Does anybody really think that Hillary Clinton would be tougher on Russia than Donald Trump? Nobody mentions that Hillary received the questions to the debates. Can you imagine if I received the questions? It would be the electric chair.
President Trump raising eyebrows again and again, reprimanding a reporter who asked about the administration's plans to combat anti-Semitism.
Quiet, quiet, quiet. See, he lied about he was going to get up and ask a very straight, simple question. So, welcome to the world of the media.
On America's drug epidemic.
Drugs are becoming cheaper than candy bars.
And finally, when questioned about his agenda for inner cities and whether he'd meet with a Congressional Black Caucus.
Well, I would. I tell you what. Do you want to set up the meeting? Do you want to set up the meeting?
No.
Are they friends of yours? No, set up the meeting.
The White House later thought better of it and reached out to the Congressional Black Caucus itself. No date or time set for that meeting. A little bit of backstory here. Aides tell me yesterday morning the president, over the objections of some top advisors, single-handedly called for that news conference. He even announced it himself, putting the defense of his presidency in the hands of the person that he trusts the most, himself. And early this morning, this tweet from the president praising his own performance. He writes, "Thank you for all the nice statements on the press conference yesterday. Rush Limbaugh said one of the greatest ever. Fake media, not happy." Matt and Hallie, back to you.
All right, Peter Alexander at the White House. Thanks so much.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.